Hello, Flosstube. Welcome back. My name is Teresa. This is the Garden Goose Stitcher Flosstube where I talk about my geese. I have a special guest. I'm going to go put her back because she'll poop everywhere. This is our new Gosling. Her name is Esmeralda. The name suggestion was from my friend Pam Brown. She suggested Esmeralda, and then we couldn't think of anything else. It doesn't really roll off the tongue. After we last spoke, I feel like right after we last spoke, we had 2 chicken eggs hatch in our little incubator. And then 1 out of the 3 Gosling or goose eggs hatched. And we had a Gosling. So she is about 3 weeks old because the chicks are almost 4 weeks old. It's been a month since I saw you. So we have been super crazy busy over here, gardening, taking the goose for walks. She is such a dream. I forget how much I love Goslings. This is our 3rd spring with the Gosling. And she's the best. So she goes to go out to the garden with me and does, like while I'm watering, and she will pick grass. She's never been in the house before, so there's a lot to look at. I'm hoping she doesn't poop all over me. But so this is our new goose, Esmeralda. She's a little shy, but she's super sweet, super cute. Just likes to walk with us, chase us around. If we're out watering and then she's picking at something and then she loses sight of us, she'll just start panicking and start squawking. And then we'll call her, we'll say, well, here we are. And she'll come running. Yeah. So this is the big goose update in my Flosstube. I'm going to go put her back and then I'll come back and talk about my garden, my cross stitch. But I had joked that I would, of course, bring a Gosling on my Flosstube. Here she is. Can you believe it? She's really sweet. She's almost 3 weeks old. And the chicks are almost 4 weeks. So the Gosling eggs took an extra week. But only 1 hatched. So that's pretty good for our first try. What do you think? Anyway, she's super cute. I'll be right back without the Gosling. Bye. Bye. Okay, I'm back. And I didn't even get any goose poop on me. So it must be meant to be. She was meant for television. So it's been about a month since I checked in. I've been really busy over here. I thought about doing it last week, but there's still a lot going on. I have been busy planting, busy with the new chicks, and I feel like I water we haven't had rain in Michigan in about almost 4 weeks. That's a long time. And so I put my tomatoes in. We had a nice little rainstorm, and then it hasn't rained since. So every day I spend at least an hour watering the garden. Spend quite a bit of time watering the front yard where I have flowers, and the backyard I put some plants in. So I feel like I'm a slave to watering every day. Got to do it, otherwise everything will die. It's okay. Some things are not as going the way they should because they need more water than I can provide them, even if I water twice a day. We, thank the Lord, have a couple days in the forecast, which there has been no rain in the forecast for weeks. And it's been like upper 80s. And so we're crispy. The grass doesn't look good. And so, strange things in my garden, like my acorn squash and my butternut squash are not up yet. I've never had a problem growing a squash. They usually are obnoxiously fast growing and huge. And this year I'm like, did somebody eat your seeds? Where did the seeds go? Somebody must have eaten the seeds from below. So I've replanted some things, and I don't know. We put strawberries in our garden. We had an area inside our fenced-in garden that had a lilac, and I removed it. A lot of people were really mad at me. But I put a big strawberry patch in so they have plenty of space to go wild. Hopefully they will if they ever get rain. I got my beans, my tomatoes, my onions are up. My garlic looks really good. We planted it last fall. My peas are flowering right now. They're not very tall, but we haven't had any water, and it's been too darn hot. So I think this happened the year before last, where it was dry and hot right out of the gate, and they didn't get very tall, but I did get a good crop. So we've been busy doing projects. We repainted our coop and our run. It was like brown metal barn siding. Anyway, we painted it white, so it's nice and bright in there. It's a nice refresh for the coop. I'm hoping that in the winter, having the run and the coop a little bit brighter will hopefully equate to a couple more eggs, a little bit more light down there, down the run. It's attached to our pole barn. Probably could fit 3 or 4 cars in that. It's the whole length of our pole barn. And then we turned it into a chicken coop and covered run, which is great for our girls, but it's been brown and dingy, and so it's really nice out there. We've been doing all sorts of projects. I don't even know what. It's been a lot, you guys. This is Flosstube 22. Is that true? Perhaps it's Flosstube 22. I think it's June something. I had bunko last night, but I have no idea what the date is, but we already talked about that and established that that's not what you come here for. You shouldn't. I am so glad for all of the wonderful comments I've been receiving and messages, and thanks for waiting. And some people checked in, and so I appreciate you all. And I've been enjoying a ton of Flosstube. We'll talk about that in a minute. And I've been getting a lot of stitching done. Even with all of my garden watering. I got a lot of stitching done. Right after we last spoke, I had shared a haul from the retreat. Is that how long it's been? And my friend messaged me and said, hey, I have that Teresa Kogut patriotic book. Do you want to stitch something together? And I was like, sure. And then I said that, even though I knew I had 51 whips and I didn't want that. So I said, well, give me like a week or something like that, and then we can start it. And so during that time, I finished my WhipGOs. Then I looked at my list and I just started banging out as many little whips as I had on my list. So I ended up getting my list of whips down to 44. And then I started a new one with my friend Lisa. And then I started the Home Sweet Home Sal, my Home Sweet Home Sal. So I'm going to start showing you what I stitched. I'm going to start with some previous finishes. I don't think I've ever shown a previous finish in my Flosstube. And I don't know why, really. Have I ever? But I was pulling it out to decorate and taking the cobwebs off. So this is something I stitched. I think I stitched this for Mania of 2020. And I didn't finish it till WhipGO 2022 or 21. And then I had bought this and had this little board in mind. So I'm going to put this out. This is the first year ever. So I must have just finished it in a flurry. I don't know. It's never been out at 4th of July. Or maybe I forgot to put it out. I don't remember. But it's going out this year. It's a miracle. So that was a previous finish. This is kind of a previous finish, but I actually just fully finished it. I had sewn this. I don't know. Whenever the book from Twin Peaks Primitive came out, I'll put a picture of it here just in case you don't know what I'm talking about. I don't know where mine is. I feel like I have a whip bag with the pattern and like more fabric to do more of the little pillows in it, but I don't know that I've seen it in a while. So, but I've had this sitting up here for months and months and months, and I just finally finished it. I went to my local quilt shop to get some fabric for something. And they sell wool. And so I bought some wool and I attached it. And so now it's like actually done. Before it had a slit. And slit. That's what I said. I just mumble. But it's Twin Peak Primitive. It's from their ornament book, their patriotic ornament book. And I hopefully have shown a picture. So now it's done. And it's going to go on my hutch. While I had wool for that, I did this one too. This is from Pinker and Pumpkin Quilting. It's a freebie. I think it's called something like Granny's sewing basket or somebody's sewing basket. You know, I love her website. I love all of her freebies. My friend's stitching a crock or something right now, and I'm super jelly. I also, so since I fully finished those, I also fully finished this. And just out of the blue, the other day, I decided I was going to I think I was going to add the wool to that finally. And then I thought, well, let me start putting together all of the projects I want to make into pillows. I think I had 8 finished cross stitches that I lined with an interfacing, sewed a backing on it, but I only finished 2. So the little ones you're going to see. This is Be Ye Thankful by With Thy Needle and Thread, Brenda Gervais. This was a sale that I invited myself to stitch. Typical. And I finished it in April. And so then I used some basic gray fabric. There was a line a couple years ago of basic gray, like Halloween line. And this was one of the prints, and I think it looks great for fall things because it's just beautiful, autumnal. So that one is done. And then I finished randomly. Oh, and this was the first time I've used lizard litter. I have to say that one of my favorite moments ever was us opening the box of lizard litter from Amazon. And my boy's looking at me like, are we getting a lizard? What? When do we need this for? How many more animals are we going to get? This is from Sweet Wings Studio. It's Doxology, Spring Doxology. And I just happened to. This is the first time I've ever stitched a side. I don't hate it. I think I'd like to play with trim. And I may still put trim on this one. I just need to get gutsy. I feel like you can do it later, right? They're done, but I could add some embellishment later. But I like the way the lizard litter feels. I stuffed the corners with poly, and then I put lizard litter in, and I really like it. So I have a couple other finishes as well, because before I started the Teresa Kogut God Shed His Grace, I'll show it in a minute, I finished a bunch of things. So I went through my whips, and this was in my WhipGO. Was it on my WhipGO? No, it wasn't. I just started it in March Mania, that little goose with a heart. And so I finished stitching it. It took me a minute. Didn't have much to do. Wait, have I already shown this? No, I have not. I think I just put it on my Instagram. I lined it. This is one of the ones that I'm making into a little pillow. I have it lined in the backing on. I just need to stuff it. I have to be in the right mindset to stuff things. It's not my favorite. I also, let me see if I can find it here. This was a whip. I had started this at the Teresa Kogut retreat. Where is the pattern? I got it as a free thing at Stitch Away. It was a free pattern that they gave everyone at the Newcomers Tea. And I had gotten quite a bit done at the retreat. I just stitched on it all weekend. Just kept thinking, oh, I want to finish a little bit more. And look at it. I finished it all the way. And then it's lined for a pillow. So this one also needs to be stuffed. But it's off my whip list. So that's a miracle. So that's good. I also had finished my WhipGOs. This was one of my WhipGOs for May. Let Us Be Thankful by Penn Creek. I have like the whole row series. Let me see. Here it is. Let Us Be Thankful. And I don't want to talk about how close it is to the top. That is a problem for a different day. But I'm glad that it's done. I have the patriotic row done. It's kind of like sandcastles. And I haven't finished them. I need to get some sort of sticky board. My other WhipGO for May was Sweater Weather by Stitching with the Housewives. This was something I started as a sale with my friend Karen. And then I got bored because I was at a retreat and I needed to count better. And so then she was highly offended that I stopped stitching on it. She's like, I thought we were stitching along. And I said, well, we did for a little while. She's like, so it's start together and I'll stitch it alone. And I'm sorry. It came up on WhipGO. There you go. And I finished it. Super cute. I don't know how I'll finish this one. I'm not sure. I don't know how Karen finished hers. And then, while I was digging in the box for something I could finish, I pulled out my May sampler of the month from Cottage Needleworks. I have a lot of these left. I think I maybe have half of them stitched. Maybe that could be what I put on my March Mania next year. And this is another one where I did not repeat the motifs going up, because that's where I got stuck, you guys. I could stitch it just fine. And then when I had to re-stitch the motifs again, I pretty much was quitting. So that's why a lot of them ended up in the whip bin and not finished. But this one, I finished stitching it. I didn't have much done to do. I had to do the house, the flowers, the bees. Love it. Love that it's done too. I don't really remember. I'm like a month ahead. I think for a while I was 2 months ahead on my WhipGO, or my Wordplay, sorry. My Wednesday Wordplay has been neglected recently, and I'll explain why. But I do have June finished, and I finished this in May. And I think I finished May earlier, and I'm sure I showed it on Flosstube, right? Did I show it when it was done I was done stitching it? Did I show this one? I think I did. But since I finished this one, I pulled out my July, but I haven't made myself stitch on it yet. Let's hope this doesn't fall. I'll tell you. I got that perpetual calendar. Every time I show it, I get questions about it. I got it at Tractor Supply Co. 2 springs ago. In 2021. They don't have it. They didn't have it for very long that summer. I got mine on clearance and I grabbed it, and I'm so glad I did. But I'll tell you, if I ever see one of those in a garage sale, I'm going to snatch it up and I'm going to give it away, because there's so many people who are always like, where did you get the perpetual calendar? Because I feel bad that I got one. Is this June? Oh, this is June. So that's my June, and then I have my May as well. Well, while I was finishing, I fully finished it. So it's got the magnets on it, so it can just get changed out. But it missed its month. Better luck next year. Y'all, I have 8 out of 12 finished now in my Wordplay. So that's more finished than not. Are you so excited? The July, I haven't stitched on it at all, because I think I might want to become a monogamous stitcher, you guys. And I don't know how I could possibly accomplish that, since I have 45 whips, 46 whips. Am I back up to 46? I'm not sure. But since my last Flosstube, and since my friend Lisa asked if I wanted to stitch along with her, I have pretty much monogamously been stitching on this one pattern, and I have enjoyed it so much. So how does one transition from a crazy whip type stitcher to just having one project at a time to stitch on? I guess maybe I won't do WhipGO next year, because I'll just attack each whip as I feel. Because obviously, after I did my WhipGO, I finished stitching 3 other whips, because I just felt like it. That's just as efficient as me assigning myself 10 days of WhipGO. And so maybe I think there's something to that. We'll see how I go, because I believe I took something off of my WhipGO when I did those extra 3. So basically, I told you I do well under pressure. So I got myself in this mess of having all these whips, and now I'm more likely to finish them because I feel that pressure to like really work. So let me show you the one that my friend Lisa peer pressured me into stitching. I had showed this book last time because I had bought Broad Stripes and Bright Stars by Teresa Kogut at the retreat at the shopping annex that they had, She said, I have that book. Do you want to stitch one? And I said, okay. You guys know I'm always in for a sale. Always. That's probably why I have 46 whips. But at least I don't have 51, which is what I had. So I asked, how about this one? And she said, okay. And so when we were kitting it up, she's in the Color and Cotton Floss Club. I'm in the Color and Cotton Floss Club. And I said, what are you going to use for it? I think I'm going to use a bunch of these Color and Cotton. She said, I'm going to use a bunch of them. So we, I think I used these Tans RDMC that they were called for, but I ended up using my Old Glory, my Shining Sea, my Valor Red that I had just gotten from my club. And that hill is no joke. Let me show you the hill. Okay. See that hill there? It is no joke. And then I messed up on a strand. Well, I was using 2 strands together and stitching 1X at a time so I could get optimal variegation. And I messed up. So it was too rumpled. The whole section of those 2 strands was too rumpled to reuse it. A lot of times I'll push it because I'm thrifty that way. And so I had messed up a little bit on it. And then I was like, uh-oh, I don't know if I'm going to have enough Old Glory. Because if you look, hold on, let me get close. I have 4 strands left. So I ended up pulling Weeks Winnie Bee Blue. And it's pretty much the exact same. And so you can see them. They're pretty close. So I sub that out after I finished the hill. That hill took me a whole week of aggressively stitching on it regularly. So I spent a whole week stitching on the hill, and then I stitched the people, and then I stitched the flag, and now I'm going to be starting the house really soon, hopefully. Because I want to get this done before the 4th of July. For no reason other than I want to. And I've decided I want to. So I had stitched the hill with the Old Glory from Color and Cotton. And then the people shirts, I switched and I started using the Weeks Dye Works Winnie Bee Blue. And you cannot tell the difference, can you? If you can, what do the Floss Boston's cousins say? If they can notice that, poke them in the eye. I'm going to talk about them in a minute. They're my favorite. Okay, but anyway, so I've stitched on this pretty much since we last spoke. After I got those bunch, I think I was 3 weeks I've stitched on this monogamously. And I love that. Love it. Love it. So then on the 1st, I started with another sale because I enjoy community and I'm susceptible to peer pressure. I started with a bunch of friends on the internet, on the Instagram. There's a hashtag my home sweet home sale. Holly, I think, made it. Holly's Hobbies of Holly. Holly Neal, but she started the hashtag Hobbies of Holly. I'll put the hashtag down below. But I started this on the 1st, and it was a fun extra challenge that a bunch of people were starting cross-stitch camp that the Colorado Cross Stitcher hosts, and the challenge for June was to stitch a bird. So I started this on the 1st. It's got that big old robin, and then it's got that little tiny robin too. So I started this on the 1st. It's today the 6th. The 4th was Sunday. Went to a birthday party. So today must be the 6th. So I've stitched on this monogamously for 6 days. And I'm doing pretty well. I fudged up a whole bunch. And I don't want to talk about it. If you get to notice what I fudged, keep it to yourself. I know what I did. Because I had to find the problem so I could figure out how to fudge it the best. I did. And then I made another monumental problem. Completely unrelated to my mistake and what I was fudging. I then screwed up royally. And then a whole bunch of other stuff had to be messed around. And I wasn't going to frog it. I'm a fudger, not a frogger. But miracle of all miracles, this is the third one I've stitched from this series. And I believe this is the first time I have not messed up the vine around the bird. So can we take a moment? I'm coming up in the world. I did not mess up the vine around that robin. Holly ended up changing her color of her bird, and kind of wonder about mine. But I'm not frogging it, so it's going to stay. I have to do those strawberries to finish the word home. And then there's some more of these sawtooth star looking things over here. And then eventually it'll match up to where I fudged. I have to go this way, though. You know, we're just going to accept it. I ended up doing a floss conversion of mostly DMC for this. Well, and a lot of them are the same, though. So, from the other Be Ye Thankful and the Christmas one. What was that? Joy, Good Cheer. Look at me. And, so most of these are DMC that I picked out. I am using Yosemite by Coloring Cotton. I think this was in my Patriotic May Floss Club, too. And that's what I'm using for the house. And it looks good. I like it. And the outside, so I've been stitching on this. I'm hoping to finish it like this today or tomorrow. I have not pulled out my WhipGOs yet. Also, I was going to say, I actually took a picture of my floss conversions and I put them on my Instagram. So if you really did want to know what that was, I took a still shot of it and I posted it for my own reference. But also, if you wanted to know which DMCs I picked, then you could. But what was I talking about? I have not pulled out my WhipGOs yet, but it's only early. I know that one of them is my strawberry needle book, and I just worked on that in March, during March Mania, and so I feel kind of confident that I could finish that. Also, what if I abandon it being a needle book, and I just make it into a little small pillow? Don't be shocked if that's what happens. And I don't remember what the other one was. I don't feel like it was a bad one. Because I haven't been feeling dreadful about it. I just haven't got it out of the bed. So, under the bed. So, that is what those are my new starts. 2 new starts, a lot of finishes. And I also had a little bit of progress on my May Prairie Schooler. We pretty much are done with school. Nate's wrapping up the biology. I'm not making him do worksheets or tests. I said, can you just read each biology chapter? Please send me the link to the coordinating crash course biology, just so I know he knows what he's reading, and then find the coordinating. But anyway, listen, it's summer, okay, but he does have to finish algebra. He has some work to do. I've been working on this May. We haven't done school in a while, but I have since I saw you last, and I just worked a little bit on the Weeping Willow and the barn. Finished the gold side of it. The other side is red, and I'm excited about that. I wonder how many I have left of this series to do. I'm not sure. Hey, listen, that's all I've been stitching on. I did a lot of finishing. Can we take a moment? The fact that I took it down to 44 whips before I added 2. So I'm at 46, if anyone's counting. I do not have a heck of a lot of haul. Can you believe it? I skipped the 15th of May on my shopping day. I skipped it completely. Who am I? I want to become fully monogamous, and I didn't buy anything. Okay, I bought some fabric somewhere. I think I bought fabric, like quilt fabric for something. And now I'm not really sure what it was. I can't really think of what it could have been. But anywho, I bought some sort of quilt. Oh, I know what it was. Nope, I don't. No, I was thinking I was getting ready to sew something, but now I can't think of something. I did finish a little quilt. I'm going to make that. Okay, listen. If you've been watching, sometimes I have this open and you see my chicken salad. Listen, I'm going to be real. I'm not making 20 more chickens or however many there. I'm going to sew this together as a wall hanging for my kitchen. And then I'm going to sew a table runner. I'm going to call it good. It's going to be done though. So anywho, for some reason I bought some quilt fabric. And while I was at that shop, they also sold cross stitch. And I saw this and I bought it. And I'd never seen this before. Oh, that's a terrible glare. I'm so sorry. My apologies. But it's a Prairie Schooler. It's all these patriotic strawberries. I had never seen it before. American strawberries. Listen, it's hard to read backwards, okay? So I bought that. And it traveled with quilt fabric, but I don't know what it was now. Sorry. Oh, shoot. I know what it was. It must have been floss drops or something. It's a secret. I can't talk about it. Okay, so I did get my Be Stitch Me. I did not take it out. Look at the Be Stitch Me. Okay, I'm going to take it out. Oh, it's so crinkly. Listen, I don't listen on earbuds. Oh, I've listened to earbuds a couple more times, but the crinkle doesn't bother me. The only thing is, I think it was during cold and flu season, and when people coughed, whew, that sure did startle me with the earbuds. Ooh, it's pretty. Bronze Age. I get 16 count from this club, and then from my Grace Notes Fabrics, I get an 18 count. Look at that. When should I stitch that? Ooh, that's pretty. So I'm still going to be an Ada stitcher forever. I might stitch some stuff on Lugana, but I don't know. Oh, I was going to tell you, just in case. So this fabric, this is a Fabrics by Stephanie. Isn't it beautiful? It's a test dye, so you can't ever get it. So sorry. But it looks awfully, oh, sorry, did I? It looks awfully good. It looks pretty good. Look at that. Look at that. It's a test dye. So it's, I just thought it was meant to be. But anywho, and then I got my Grace Notes fabric of the month. I, again, am not going to try to pronounce this word. It starts with an A, and it has an arpeggio. It's not going to say it. And it's got a sticker that says, yes, you can. No, I cannot say that. But I love that she always has a sticker. It's pretty. I'm sure you've already seen a lot of people, because this is my May. I think that my... Did I get an email? It's the next one I just... Like, I'm going to show you, then you could pronounce it yourself. Beautiful. Beautiful. I don't know when I'm going to stitch on that. Can you believe how many things I finished, though? It's been a month since I visited. I don't think it'll be that long between now and next time I check in. Because to be honest, I don't really like it because I forget everything. And you know, if you've watched this channel before, that was already an issue. I'm awful forgetful sometimes. But before I go, I gotta tell you that you need to go watch Callie and Christy over at the Floss Boston Cousins. They started a Flosstube. I found them a week ago. Somebody messaged me and said, have you watched them? They're hilarious. The one-liners that come out of those gals are priceless. Somebody should keep a booklet of cousin quotes, because they just kill me. Christy's husband made her this ribbon rack. I was just watching because they just put one out. And her husband, she asked him for a ribbon rack, and so she pulls it out, and Callie says, I think you could ask Alan to build a nuclear bomb and he could do it. And I had to pause it. That is where my video is right now, because I had to pause it and take a break because the ice, my eyes were all from laughing. They're the sweetest. I love their banter. They live in Alabama, and I just love their enthusiasm for stitching and each other and their family. And they have a whole segment on nicknames and how they came to be, which is hilarious. And for someone who does not feel things outwardly, when Christy gave Callie a couple of their grandma's quilting hoops, and Callie got all emotional, and then I got emotional, which is rare because I don't usually feel that way. So But go check them out. They have 5 floss tubes right now. I was just watching. I had to take a break because I was laughing so hard. But I am so happy that we got to check in. And I don't think it'll be another month. The garden is planted. If it would rain, I would even have less maintenance to do. Miracle of all miracles. We just moved our garage freezer to our basement where we keep our meat freezer. And I found 5 bags of yard sauce because we're out of yard sauce. So thankfully I have yard sauce to last us through tomatoes starting, because I was a little nervous. But so anyway, I hope that you're having a wonderful summer. I hope that you get to cross stitch a lot. And are you stitching by the pool? We have a pool and a table with an umbrella, and I sit out there as much as I can. It's been super hot, so I have to be honest. There's been days where I hid out in the house, and after watering, come in, sweat, and I just stitch in the cold air conditioning. But I hope that you're having a wonderful summer, and that you got your garden planted. If you haven't got your garden planted, I'm going to quote my cousin. What does she say? The best day to plant, fill in the blank. The only day better than today to plant that would have been yesterday. So you should just plant it now. It's better than yesterday. Or I mean, it's better than never. But so you might as well just do it. But I don't know. She also talks about weeds being perfectly propagated chicken fodder. So that's what I always call my weeds in my garden. Well, these are just perfectly propagated chicken fodder. Anyway, I know that a bunch of people are going to StitchCon. I am so amped. Are you amped to watch StitchCon hashtagging and updates on floss tubes? I am so excited. A lot of years ago, when blogging was quilt blogging was still a thing, whenever there would be quilt market, there would be a hashtag that like, hashtag I'm not going to quilt market. And it was like a sewing marathon for people who weren't going. And, you know, because you're all amped about all the fabric you're seeing from the designers or whatever. I feel like it's kind of like that. There should be a hashtag I'm not going to StitchCon. I'm just going to stitch a marathon at my house and watch the hashtag and all the updates. Somebody should make that. I'd probably tune into that and add to it. Hashtag I'm not going to StitchCon, but I'm going to finish X, Y, and Z or whatever. But I'm really excited for all of those people. I hope it's not as hot as it was last year, because it was hot as heck. So I'll talk to you again soon. Maybe every other week I can get back to, because the garden is planted. So I've missed you guys. And I have enjoyed all the comments that I've received since last time. Some people have just started, I don't know, I've been noticing comments on my earlier videos, so maybe some people are catching up, or I don't know. But I'm so grateful for all of you for being here and checking in and waiting for Gosling news. I hope that you're just as over the moon with Esmeralda as we are. Honestly, we love her so much, which is so risky because, you know, hashtag predators. We have predators, and so actually we're adding to our four-legged family members this weekend. We had a Springer Spaniel we lost a couple years ago, and if you've ever had a Springer Spaniel, your heart just went, oh, Springer Spaniel, because Springer Spaniels, they are so excited and so happy all the time. A lot of time they're a pain in the rear end, but I've noticed, and myself included, that when you hear somebody say, oh, they have a Springer Spaniel, you say, oh, I have a Springer Spaniel. But she was just amazing, and we lost her a couple years ago, and our hearts have not been the same. But with all of our predator issues, we decided it was time to get another big dog, like a larger size dog, hopefully to dissuade some of the riffraff from coming into our perimeter. So so this weekend, a four-legged family member will be added to our family. maybe I'll have updates about that. When that I'm not going to have a new animal every time I check in though, okay? But this funny farm is not completed. I will say that. Oh, the turkeys are so big. We lost one turkey. Totally random. I still don't believe it. I'm like, but why? But I do know that when they're young, like they could just, for any reason. So we have our three turkeys and our bantam chicks that we got a couple months ago. They are fully integrated into the chicken coop. So when we moved, listen, do you have a chicken coop? Have you had a chicken coop? Do you know what kind of work it was to get everybody out, put them in a safe place where fox and coyotes and bald eagles and hawks would not eat them, and they would have space enough while we painted and cleaned the coop and refreshed it. I even bought art. I bought art for the coop and swings, but it was a big deal. And so when we moved them to our temporary situation, we added the bantams and the turkeys, and everybody was fine. And so now that everybody's in the coop and everything's working out well. The turkeys are really hilarious. Their sounds that they make are funny, but so everybody's one united family. We still have the 2 baby chicks that we hatched in their brooder. Soon they'll be okay to go in. They're almost feathered out enough to go, but I'm just saying I'm not adding any, like, there's not going to be a new animal every time I Flosstube. But my cousin did get goats, and that sure has reminded me that I need a WhipGO. Sometimes my friend Erin just comments, WhipGO. Where's the WhipGO? I know. We need a house. We need a hut for the goat before we get a goat, and a fence, because we don't want escaping WhipGOs. But anyway, I didn't mean to talk about all the funny farm stuff at the end. I will talk to you later. Thank you all for checking in and being here and commenting. I love getting to know you. I really feel like, especially if I see you guys in a Zoom, or just love you guys. So I'll be back sooner than later, and I hope you get lots of wonderful stitching in. Let me know if you're sailing along any cool sales that I missed out on. I mean, now that I have less than 50 whips, there's like a green light, but just kidding. I really want to get my whips down. My goal, listen, my self-imposed goal would be for myself to work so much on whips between now and January 1st that I do not have enough whips to fill another WhipGO board. So that means that's a lot. But I think I really could probably do it. So, I know what my other WhipGO is. It's a Lori Holt from that Prim and Heart. Do you know what I'm talking about? I'll post a little picture of it right here. So, but I don't think it'll take me very long to do. But I'm sorry. If you ever meet me in real life, this is how I go. This is how I get to things. Sorry. It's true. I'll talk to you guys soon. Happy stitching, friends. Bye-bye.